What's going on, Brandon? How you doing?
Another day in the normal life, yeah. Just hanging
Absolutely.
out.
And this is 5 Minutes with Phil.
And Brandon.
All right. So today we're talking about large companies with huge market caps, the ones that you see, you buy, you consume from. The same exact problems plague massive companies that will plague you as a small salesperson or a medium-sized team, right? Or an entrepreneur, business owner, whatever the case is. How do you avoid those pitfalls? One is by being aware of them. So let's draw some comparisons. Starting with AOL. You remember AOL?
Of course, yeah. Instant Messenger.
Yeah, AOL.
Yeah, IMing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was your street name? Giddy Boy.
Funk's Tony Phil.
No, it was literally Giddy Boy.
Yeah.
1212.
That was one of them. There was another. There was a bunch of them.
What a throwback.
What was yours?
Wow. Mine was BGK Sanders, like something, whatever. It wasn't as bad, but yeah. Giddy Boy's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
anyway.
It was also that in Funk's Tony Phil, but yeah, either way. So AOL, right? So why do you think that they failed?
I mean, if I was to guess, I never actually did research on it, but I'm sure other players came into the game, you know, like Yahoo and Google and all these others, and they were just offering more robust, like innovative systems, if I was to guess. I don't know.
The reason is lack of innovation.
Okay.
So, and then obviously the internet changing, right? So they were dial-up essentially. Do you remember what their slogan was?
AOL slogan.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. Wow, that's a movie, a Tom Hanks movie. You can hear it. I could hear it in my head. That You've got mail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they were so enormous. Their marketing campaign used to get the CDs in the mail.
Remember? Yeah, I remember.
AOL 3.0.
Yeah, and you'd put it in, like download the disc onto your like Windows 95 or whatever.
So they had that on lock. Even with all the marketing, all the sales and everything like that, if you lack the ability to have healthy paranoia, and if you lack the ability of being almost like being too big, and not recognizing a competition or having a common enemy, it kind of makes you fall asleep, and then you get taken over.
Yeah,
right?
like Blockbuster almost, right? Like very similar, but yeah.
Actually, yeah, Blockbuster is a very famous one. With Blockbuster, they same exact thing, lack of innovation. They thought they were too big to fail. They had the ability to buy Netflix. They didn't, and
Netflix took over.
Yeah,
we read the Netflix book, right? And it was like in the beginning of the book, they talk about them, you know, pitching their idea to Blockbuster and it getting completely shut down. I remember going to Blockbuster as a kid and like walking in being like, oh, this is so sick. And then when it shut down, then you remember it was the little kiosks, Red I can't remember. I think Red Door is a spot.
Yeah.
But it was some, you know, like the little kiosks.
Yeah, they
it's
had
like
7-Eleven and stuff.
Yeah,
you rent the DVDs.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you said, you have to be consistently innovative. Even like in the telecom game, when we first started on-premise systems, the best move that you made was before COVID, without knowing that COVID's going to come, is voice over IP, switching to voice over IP.
Yeah. Actually, speaking to that vein, you got BlackBerry. Again, another company that failed to innovate with the times. The funny thing is, they didn't have a competition, and then Steve Jobs and Apple came out of nowhere with the touchscreen, and they just thought everyone was so into tactile, they never thought it was going to take off, no one could do it. But the interesting thing about BlackBerry is that they were the first ones to take like a fax, like an email, right? A phone, and like a computer essentially, and kind of combine it all into one, right? So you had all that into one, and that was like the business phone, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hit me on my BlackBerry. Common enemy, lack of innovation. Those are the two major things. Another interesting one, Nokia, another phone provider that went down.
You remember playing Snake on Nokia?
I do. What are some of the things you think, reasons why Nokia failed?
They were one of the last phones that I remember. Like there was even like a Windows phone, if you remember that. They were trying to hold on to, like with BlackBerry, they were all like trying to hold on to the keyboard, like having the buttons, the soft keys.
They thought that was like the unique selling point. Generations change everything.
Yeah.
So eventually you have to worry about the next layer of consumerism that's coming, which is the next generation. What are they into? What do they want? I think iPhone, what they did was, or Apple, they started marketing to a younger demo. BlackBerry thought they had it on lock, swooped in under, got the younger generation in college. Remember everyone with the headphones and all that?
Of course. I remember that too. I'm 38 now, and I remember
48, he's 48.
Yeah, exactly. Just every time, like just increasing my age by like 15 years.
Lying about your age on a podcast that like 3 people view is wild.
Oh yeah. I know.
I'm 42.
All 15 people now are gonna gonna know I'm 48.
Exactly.
But I remember it was split. Almost kind of like today, it's, you know, Android. Do you have an Android? Do you have an iPhone? It was like, oh, do you have a BlackBerry? Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, it was the
right?
battles,
You
yeah.
remember?
Last but not least, which I think is an interesting one too, is Yahoo.
My email is still Yahoo.
That's how you know he's like 54.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's got
so literally
yeah.
still a Yahoo email.
All right, so what are some of the reasons why you think Yahoo failed?
I remember because I've read Measure What Matters, and they
Yeah.
talk about the reason Google took over Yahoo is because Yahoo was offering like limited storage, and then Google decided basically to just break it out where it's unlimited storage.
The interesting thing about Yahoo is that they had an opportunity to buy Google for $1 million.
No way.
Yeah, which is like absolutely insane.
It's like people who had an opportunity to buy Bitcoin at like $10.
Exactly, I know. Or even
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Oh, I know,
Like, yeah.
I know. But also, if you think about that, you got poor decision making, a lack of competition, and lack of innovation. The point is that when you're in sales, these are all situations and all things that you have to be aware of, whether you're worth $1 or worth, you know, billions of dollars. If you don't have a common enemy, you don't have someone making you wake up in the morning, making you get up there, doing something hard, staying dialed in.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect. The competitor, right, helps you stay locked in,
Yeah.
helps you make better decisions. This company, we've had to do that. We were born into war. We were born into fire, immediately fighting off our back foot. Everybody, you, me, everyone that was involved. Leadership, right? Me, Justin, every decision we made mattered. It mattered because it affected you. It affected all the people that were involved at the time. So you're so hyper focused because you have this enemy that's breathing down your neck, and you have people that you care about, so your decision has to matter. I don't know if you'll ever be as dialed and as ruthless as a startup.